today's show, we have Lydia Storm, and she's an artist. So she's right up my alley. We work in different formats. I'm a photographer and you use a paintbrush. But in looking at your art, it looks like a photograph. And we'll show the audience here in a little bit what you've created. But let's go back. So you're from Kingfisher. Tell me about your upbringing. You were homeschooled and
Yeah, I grew up in Kingfisher. I lived in the same house my whole life, but I went to school for art at OBU, so I lived in Shawnee for a few years, and I would live, in the summers, and I've lived there until I got married, and now I live in Oklahoma City. So.
Wow. So, but let's back up even more. So what drew you to art? I mean, back when you were a little girl, were you really good with crayons? You colored inside the lines, or what made you go this direction?
I drew a lot. I remember that. I don't really, because I was so young, it was just something I always did. It wasn't like, oh yeah, one day I remember doing this. But I was always crafting, and so I made messes all over the house. And when I was in high school, I started painting, like really, really painting. And
Like
I realized
actually
I liked
with a
it.
paintbrush and Wow. Okay. And then so that continued through teen and young adult till you went to college and then, so where did you go to school and why did you decide to go to school in the first place?
I went to school at Oklahoma Baptist University, and I just always thought that I would. Like, my parents went to that same school, so I was like, I guess I'll just go.
Sure.
But I realized maybe senior year of high school, I thought, sorry.
That's all right.
I thought, if I'm going to be doing like a hobby for the rest of my life, it's not a waste, because people say, oh, it's a waste, artists are always starving, nobody can make any money. And I was like, well, even if I have another job, I'll be painting until I'm old and die, you know? Like, I'll be doing it my whole life. So it's not a waste, it's like a lifelong, journey, I guess.
And you have a very understanding husband that allows you to make this your actual career, and you're actually doing paid work. I mean, you're not the starving artist. It's amazing that you're that focused, because a lot of people say, oh, I kind of want to do that, and they never follow that path. But you've taken it all the way through and now actually producing something with your talent. So you have a very unique style, I guess. Go ahead and hold that one up. And so did you do this starting with a photograph, or how did this come about? And you were saying this is maybe your college roommate?
Yeah, one day me and my roommates went out to the nearby forest and all took pictures, and I was like, I really like this photo, I think I'm gonna paint it. So it's based off of a photograph. I did it for an independent study at school, and I was studying portraits, so I chose to do this.
I mean, it's so photograph-like. From a distance, I would have sworn that was just a photograph on an oil background kind of a thing. Wow. And then this one here, this next one, you were telling me that although that's the actual girl, the rest of it is not. So how did that come about?
This is a commission. So somebody messaged me on Instagram and said, I love the Greek goddess Artemis, and I really would like a painting of her. And so I sketched up some ideas, and I gave her a few different poses, and I asked her, what do you want? Like, do you want, fierce huntress Artemis? Do you want her relaxed? Do you want like a more, so I gave her multiple options about what she wanted, and so that's what she asked for. She asked for a wolf. I gave her some options. Do you want the wolf to be white to match her, because she's kind of represents the moon? And so I walked her through it, and this is what she ended up choosing. So.
Wow. That's just amazing. So the only part that's sort of real is her upper body part, and the rest you created all of that from scratch. That's wow, absolutely amazing. And then now, so this one is a very I don't know what you even call it. It's I don't know. Describe this. What?
This was a challenge that I did to finish a painting in 4 hours.
Oh gosh.
And so, just for practice, sometimes you have to force yourself to do something.
Yep.
Otherwise, it's not going to get done. And if you sit around forever, then it'll be unfinished. So I chose a waterhouse painting. It's a fragment of a really big one that I knew I'd never be able to do because it's just way too big. And waterhouse paints very loosely, and so it's just he's much easier to copy because there's not tiny little
Not a lot of
details.
little details.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay. All right, and then this one here, we didn't even talk about that one. So what's the story with this one here?
This is a Bouguereau painting, and I just chose it because it's a portrait that I like. I like his work. He's probably my favorite artist. And I was trying out a new method to paint in black and white and then add the color on top, which wouldn't be exactly how he would have painted it, but a way that some people would have painted. And I was just testing out a new method.
So is that a certain technique? Because I've never heard of starting in black and white. I've heard of a sketch and then you paint it, but...
The process of painting in black and white, or usually it would be brown and gray, you know what I mean, is called grisaille, I think. I don't know how to pronounce it. I've always typed it, but I've never really pronounced it. And then there's glazing color on top, so it's two different techniques.
Wow, they're so photographic-like. It's, I was telling you before we started that, my dad went to Rhode Island School of Design and was a wonderful oil artist, but then chose photography, I guess maybe because he could make a better living at it his whole life. So he worked 30 years, as a photographer. And so I'm excited that you, at your age, have been able to, follow your path the way you really wanted to do it, not take an alternate path. And is that because you were just determined, or what was your drive to not go to work at 7-Eleven or something?
I had kind of thought that was what I was going to do, and art was just going to be a hobby. But my husband was just telling me, you just paint. Like, until you find something that's like really works out for you, just why waste your time somewhere you don't really want to be?
Yep.
And just work on something like this instead. And so I've been doing it.
We're very fortunate that you're able to do that. And so why classical art? I mean, there's all kinds of landscapes and other things, but why the classical direction?
I took quite a few art history classes at school, and I interned at the museum, the local museum that's there, and I just really fell in love with art history, and there's so much technique and dedication that the old masters had, and there's just so much to look back on. There's infinite art, infinite inspiration, and there is infinite art and inspiration in the world we're in now, the contemporary world, but it's just really great to look back and see what people saw, and yeah.
So I didn't see a lot of fruit and things in your collection here. Do you, because that seems to be people that are in the art world, they feel like they have to draw fruits and vegetables and stuff. Had you been through that too, or do you just choose to do people or things like that?
I really like portraits. That's just my favorite thing to do. I don't know why. And I do like landscapes occasionally, but portraits have come easy to me. I did a lot of the still life, fruits, skulls.
In school, I imagine you did your share of those. Yes.
Yeah, vases. So now I kind of am burnt out. Someday maybe I'll go in and start learning from those things again, but I did a lot of it in school.
Wow. So do you sell some of these items? Do you have work that you've done that you sell, or is it mostly commissioned work, or how is this going so far?
Mostly commission work, but every now and then there's a time when I just paint something for fun and somebody says, I really want that. 2 of those are going to be given to somebody because I just did it and they were like, I really want that.
Wow.
So yeah, it depends. Sometimes I just sell what I have, and then most of the time it's commission though.
So are you doing any shows or anything? Have you got enough inventory yet where you can do a show, or how are you promoting what you do?
I had a senior show at school, but I haven't really had a show since then. And I would be open to opportunities. If somebody ever came up to me and asked me, I'd be like, of course.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I have enough stuff at the moment.
It would take a while to build up.
Yeah, most of my stuff is like personal art that I keep, and I don't know if I could part with it because it means a lot to me. Like if somebody asked to buy my first ever oil painting, I might be like, I don't know, it's kind of means a lot to me.
Take a picture of it. Here, give
Yeah.
me money.
Yeah.
So you have a pretty good social presence also. Why did you decide to do that, and tell us where that is and how people can see that?
I have an art account. It is on Instagram. Lydia's Muse is the name of it. And I started it just at school to show like my school friends my processes, because several of them have accounts and they just post their drawings and say, here's what I'm working on. But it wasn't until like the last month where I've started making stuff for other people to see. And so I've been making short videos on there of stuff I'm doing and informational stuff, tutorials and tips and stuff.
And they're really nicely done. I mean, it was neat to see see it come to life, in real time as you were painting it. And so where is that? Is that on Instagram or Facebook, or where are you putting that?
Instagram for now. I'm thinking about doing a TikTok as well. And if I can figure out how to get my Facebook to connect, I might do that. But Facebook is difficult.
Understand. And that, by the way, that changes every day when you get into that mess. We deal with that a lot. Well, Lydia, how do people get in touch with you if they want to commission you to do a drawing, a painting, or something like that?
Most people direct message me on Instagram, but I have an email, which is lydiafrostart@gmail.com. And so you can email me there and ask questions. And I have like a detailed commission sheet that will tell you exactly what you're getting and all the details, the price, the breakdown and stuff.
So you've actually thought this out. It's not just like, oh, I don't know, $10. You
Yeah.
have a list of what it takes to get things done.
Yeah, and I want people to know why I'm pricing things the way they am. I don't just want to say that this is this much because I just feel like it should be.
Sure.
I want to break it down for them.
And you want to be famous before you're dead. That seems to be the art thing that, she was a great artist, but awesome. Lydia, thank you so much for hanging out with us today.
Yeah.
If you would like to contact her, we'll put her email address right here, and you can check her out on Instagram and maybe on Facebook. Okay. Stay tuned.